Hey, I'm back, and I'm doing a review this time. I did a review of my Pikes over a year ago now, on the day that I got them. So I thought it would be useful to follow up with how they're holding up and talk about the new shoes that I just got. I got myself a pair, and I got my wife a pair for her birthday. So our credit card is now a good couple $100 more in debt. Um, so I guess I'll talk about the old pair first. I reviewed these previously, and these are from Goth Pikes, by the way. For those of you doing research on where to buy your pikes from, I'll show you my experience. So these are the men's leather with the cowboy buckles. So first of all, if you look at the buckles, they've got these little diamonds on them and these little gems, and most of them have stayed on. And for reference, I've worn these probably on average 4 days a week for the last year and 2 months. Sometimes I wear them every day. Sometimes um, only a couple days. And yeah, most of these are still there, so that's pretty good. The most annoying part for me is the tip of these shoes. Well, so first of all, there's a crease right here, and that's just because it's where it bends on my foot. I mean, it's not a big deal. The new pair I got don't bend here, and I'll talk about that in a second. So, yeah, the most annoying part is if you can see the tip of the shoe, and it's probably not bright enough to see it, but the leather has started to come off just from repeatedly kicking things because the shoes are so pointy. You can't really see it too well on there, but it's worn down the leather, so it's a grayish color instead of the black. And then the other part that has worn is the heel of the shoe has started to detach. That's not as huge of a deal because you can just glue these. You can just glue that back on, or you can take it to a cobbler, someone who has a shoe store, and get it fixed. Um, so another thing to mention is I got these shortly after the shop opened. They hadn't been in business that long, and I know that they did change uh, the template for at least one type of their shoe because they weren't happy with it. So if you're ordering these now, they might be slightly different. They may have fixed some of these problems with like this or the. This probably can't be fixed. That's probably just a function of me kicking things too often. Um, but they've probably improved on the template of the shoe to take care of some problems. There's the inside. You can't really see it. I should have brought a flashlight up here. Differences. So these, I want to just point out the difference first of all. These are the same size. They're suede. But if you put them together, let's see if I can get them even. They're much shorter. The Now I think this is a function of this shoe having only 3 buckles. I think that's what's going on here, but something to be aware of because so the part where your foot goes in is still wide, so it'll still go over your pants. However, I have a few pairs of pants that they don't go like down to my heel. They stop at about my an inch or so up from that. And if your pants don't go down to your heel with this shorter, and my wife's shoe is the same. This is hers, is the vegan leather, and I'll show you the buckles, how the buckles look in a moment. They're the same height. So if you're wearing tights, it doesn't matter. But if your pants don't go far enough down, they'll end up kind of curling and sitting at the top of the shoe. So you can kind of see like your sock and the top of your pants, which I mean, maybe you don't care. It's kind of annoying because I can feel that it's not in the shoe. So it's just something to be aware of. Um, the best part about these shoes with this suede is they're incredibly thick. So with these leather ones, it took about 4 months of wearing them to break them in to where they were comfortable. They were like rubbing on my toes and around my foot and kind of giving me some problems. Like they were kind of painful at times. Uh, After about 4 months, though, they were totally broken in, and I didn't have any of those issues. They're really comfortable now. These are fucking amazing. If you're gonna get a pair from Goth Pikes, I suggest you get Suede because they feel like slippers. Honestly, they don't feel like I'm wearing anything. They're so comfortable, and you can't really see it, but this is really thick and really soft. Uh, so I really recommend these. Absolutely, really comfortable. I've been wearing them for a few days now, and I just love how they feel. Now they actually breathe better than the leather ones. Um, so I mean, if it gets hot, your feet are going to be sweaty, but they'll actually be better off in this. Now for the buckles, you saw the cowboy buckles on the other one. These are the skulls, and the skull design are the original design for Pikes. And if I can grab it, I'm looking at the camera. These are a little different, but I still like them, and they've got the pointers as well. Something to note, if you are looking for a specific type of buckle, or you don't want the pointers, or you want laces or whatever, if you're looking at their Etsy page and they don't have exactly what you want, you can request what you want and they will make it for you. And you can message them to double check that beforehand if you want. But yeah, so these are, and then I guess the only other thing is this is the heel of my ones that I've had for about a year, which you really can't see, a little bit worn down. These I've only had for 3 days, and if you can see it, I guess you can't. There's little striations in this area, and it's started to rub off already. Doesn't really matter. These did feel a bit slipperier than these are, but I think that's just because this hasn't worn in yet. You can see like the shiny part of the sole is starting to wear off, and I think as that happens, it makes the shoe have more traction, more friction. But yeah, looking at them, it does look like this has a different design for the heel, so hopefully it's not going to start to come off. But again, I mean, I wear these all the time. Now, for comparison, I do have another pair of Winkle Pickers that I got 9 years ago from a now I think defunct shop called Drac in the Box, which was in the UK. And those lasted. They're still in perfect condition. I don't know where they came from. I don't know if it was Gothic Shoe Company. I don't know if it was the UK. It's UK something that also does Pikes. I apologize. But like I said, this is a new company, and part of the reason why I chose them is because it's a small operation with a few goths that are passionate about the community. And they're involved. It's like a real DIY thing, and it's slightly less expensive. But they're continuing to improve and add styles. And like I said, they updated some of the templates for their shoes. I think I said it in this video. I've recorded this a couple times now, so I don't remember. But for one of the styles, they updated the template, at least one that I know confirmed. So, I think they're continuing to improve on the design. And then these are my wife's. These are the vegan. She got the bats, so you can see all the different styles of buckle. And for some reason, my camera has decided to stop being in focus, and I cannot. And these also have the pointers on them. Yeah, and this is what it looks like with the 3 over here. So those are the Pikes. You can get those at Goth Pikes. Just putting the information out there so you can make an informed decision. I don't plan on doing more product reviews. I just thought it would be useful since it's a younger company. It's not like Gothic Shoe Company where they've been around forever, so you can look up a bunch of reviews. To So I thought it would be good to kind of tell you my experience. If you're ordering women's shoes, they while supplies last, at least, will ship them with some tights, of which I don't have with me, but this one's got some candy on the bottom. But they've got different designs. They've got some ones with crosses on them. They've got ones with coffins. And if they still have them, I'm just, holding these up. The women and the men's shoe. If they have them, they'll throw them in the box for you. Otherwise, that's my review. As for future videos, I've got ones coming up that I'm planning, at least, to do a series on music. That I won't spoil, and I also want to do another series about the early 90s and mid 90s and some of the cultural contentions that came up for that. Oh, my son's here, so I'm gonna go. Bye, guys.